What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Noah Gray here, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Josh's channel and check out showmefootball.com for more.
What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Josh Fan of showmefootball.com, covering your Kansas City Chiefs. And I'm bringing this to you as the Kansas City Chiefs just fell to 0-2 on the NFL season after falling to the Philadelphia Eagles in their Super Bowl 59 rematch. I'm going to be here to rant with you guys, to break it all down, to react, all that coming right after this. Ladies and gentlemen of the Chiefs Kingdom, you are getting my live instant reaction as the Kansas City Chiefs just fell to 0-2 on the 2025 NFL season. They lose to the Philadelphia Eagles by a final score of 20-17 in a game where it feels like a lot of the issues from last week got fixed. And as soon as that happened, several more popped up. We were very worried about the defense coming into this game after what they showed in that week one loss to the Los Angeles Chargers, completely out of place all over the field. They tightened up much more in this game. And I'll start off with that actually as the one positive, because I think that's about the only positive, is that the defense was much better in this game and actually gave the Kansas City Chiefs a chance. But now the offense is struggling, and I'll get to that in a second. But I do want to highlight the one positive from this game, because I think even though the Kansas City Chiefs are 0-2 right now, and I am pissed and I have a lot to say, I'm at least glad to see them have an acceptable defensive performance that shows me they can begin to win these games if they now get it together on offense, because we've now seen both sides of the ball play a good game or a decent game. Again, they played a game in which they can win with that type of performance. We just haven't seen both of them play that type of game at the same time, the offense and the defense. But I mean, I thought the defense was better. You know, the Eagles have a lot of talent on offense. You know, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts, great offensive line. And they only put up 20 points in this game, and the Chiefs gift wrapped them several of those points, which, again, I will get to in this video. But my main thing, I don't think the defense is perfect either. Let me say that as well. There's still things about this defense that really make me kind of queasy. The pass rush was still awful today. Mike Dana went out of this game early with a hip injury, was eventually ruled out. And I was watching and I'm like, because we got to see Ashton Gelati a lot more, and I thought he had a lot more juice. And I'm like, the Mike Dana injury might be a blessing in disguise if it means Ashton Gelati can get more snaps. And I talked about that earlier this week in a video I did about how they need to give him more snaps and let the young guys play, because you saw both him and Omar Norman-Lott flash in this game, but still the four-man rush just is not enough right now for this Kansas City Chiefs defense, because we saw Spags blitz a lot in this game, which is actually a good plan to have against Jalen Hurts and the Eagles offense. But when you do blitz, you unfortunately sacrifice that coverage on the back end. And there was the one big play that it almost looked like an arm punt by Jalen Hurts, third down, third and long, Spags blitzes, and somehow Devontae Smith comes down with the ball, even though Trent McDuffie was there to make the play. And that's the thing. You sacrifice coverage on the back end when you blitz, but the coverage was actually good, and you still allowed them to do that. And you just can't have it in a game like this. And you can't have it from your all-pro corner, Trent McDuffie. And I really like Trent McDuffie, but that's one of the few things I've always said about him. He has no ball skills, just none. He cannot track the ball in the air for whatever reason. And he's got a few times because of that weakness. And really the Chiefs secondary as a whole just lacks ball skills. It's always been an issue that has annoyed me, to be quite honest. But I'm not going to rag on the defense too much in this game, because I thought they showed enough to where I'm optimistic about them moving forward. We're going to have to do something about that pass rush, though, bottom line. And I was jealous because I was watching the Eagles in this game, and you saw Zadarius Smith flash several times in this one for their defense. He was available to sign 2 weeks ago. The Eagles went out and picked him up, and they didn't even really necessarily need him. The Chiefs could have used a guy like that. And unfortunately, those are just the moves that Brett Veach is failing to make right now. And he's allowing the overall roster talent around Patrick Mahomes to take a nosedive. Um, but with that said, I want to talk about the offense because they're the biggest problem in this game. They looked absolutely helpless for 90% of this game. Patrick Mahomes, 16 of 29 for 187 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. It's just sad what they've done to our once in a lifetime quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. He just doesn't look the same. He looks uncomfortable. The offensive line, I thought Josh Simmons was fine. I thought Kingsley was fine. Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey, less than stellar performance from them, considering how much those guys are getting paid. Juwan Taylor back again with the penalties. They just have to be better. And I want to cut the offense a little bit of slack. And the reason why I'm not on here and throwing all the punches right now, I'm a little more calm and balanced right now in my take on this game. I want to cut them some slack because we knew this was the toughest part of the Chiefs' schedule to start the season. And they're already without Xavier Worthy. They're already without Rashee Rice. They're already without Jalen Royals. Like, the skill positions are decimated on this Kansas City Chiefs football team. So the offense, what it looks like right now, is not what I think the offense will look like by week 8. But that said, this is the same shit we've seen for the past 2 or 3 years from this Chiefs offense that we said was not good enough. How they're holding Patrick Mahomes back, how he has no help. And again, I understand the wide receiver injuries are outside of Brett Veach's control. They're outside of Andy's control. But you know what's not outside their control was their ability to add an explosive running back to this team this offseason. That's something they failed to do. And I've talked about it time and time again on this channel. They failed to add an explosive running back to this football team, and it's absolutely killing them because the run game just wasn't good enough. Isaiah Pacheco would get like 2 or 3 yards running up the middle. He was nothing special. Kareem Hunt overtook him again. Kareem Hunt looks like your best running back, and even he doesn't look great. I mean, he only averaged 3.9 yards per carry. He's obviously ideal in short yardage. He was good in short yardage besides the one play that Andy Reid called that just was way too cute, where he had like 4 guys lined up in the backfield, including Mahomes. Just stop. Just run it up the middle with Kareem. It works. There's no need to overcomplicate it. And unfortunately, Andy Reid is back to getting too cute in short yardage situations. I'll have more on Andy Reid as well. But yeah, no, the lack of an explosive running back is just holding this offense back because no one respects the Chiefs running game, which makes their passing game just easier to deal with because the Eagles don't need to stack the box. They're not worried about anything that the Chiefs are going to do out of the backfield. And you see the Eagles with Saquon Barkley. I mean, it's not like Saquon Barkley had a huge day by any means. I mean, the Chiefs relatively held him in check just like the Super Bowl, but unfortunately, not as true for the pass defense. They let up just a few plays, and that's the kind of stuff that you can do when you have an elite running back that garners attention like Saquon Barkley. I still have several issues that I want to talk about with this team, particularly on offense. But before I do that, and before I go in on Andy Reid, I just want to show you guys a message from our partners on this channel. We'll be right back after this. Wanted to take a moment to shout out our partners on this channel over at W Energy. Guys, if you have not heard of W Energy, you're absolutely missing out right now. If you're someone like me that needs that jolt of energy when you first wake up in the morning, or when you're trying to take on a big task for the day, such as working out, or maybe trying to complete a project for school, anything like that, W is an essential. I'm someone that unfortunately has gotten into the bad habit of drinking a lot of caffeinated energy drinks filled with sugar or artificial sweeteners or flavors, but I'm trying to curb that now by using W Energy, which is a much better alternative. W is a powered energy drink that replaces other inferior caffeine beverages. It contains 0 harmful chemicals, 0 fillers, 0 artificial colors or dyes, and no proprietary blends. The star of the show is their coffee fruit extract, which helps you focus without the jitter or the crash of other energy drinks or caffeinated drinks out on the market. And they just sent me their Japanese yuzu flavor that I've been drinking recently. It is absolutely fantastic. One of the better tasting energy drinks that I've ever had, and I'm going to continue to use it and check out some of their other flavors as well. I encourage you all to do the same, and luckily for you, you can use my promo code ShowMeFB by clicking the link down below and putting that promo code in when you go to checkout, and you can get an additional 10% off. Stop drinking those unhealthy energy drinks and start drinking W Energy instead. Go check out their stuff. They're going to be partnered with me all football season long. Go and check them out. So yeah, guys, definitely go and take advantage of that sale going on right now by using my promo code down in the description. Go ahead and click that link. Use the promo code at checkout. But back to the video topic. Man, offensively, passing game, everything feels so difficult for this team. It feels so difficult for them to drive down the field. And the play in which Mahomes got intercepted because Kelsey dropped the pass and it bounced into the arms of Andrew Makuba of the Philadelphia Eagles. The problem with that entire drive is that while the Chiefs were able to get in the red zone and they were in position to score, that was a long, slow developing offensive drive that was a lot of plays, long time of possession. And it's okay to possess the ball for a long time if you're trying to run out the clock, but obviously you're not in that situation because you're down. But the issue is that when you have drives that take that long, that are more plays, you increase the likelihood that you're going to mess up somewhere along the way. That's natural. And that's exactly what happened. And then you had the Kelsey mistake, and Travis Kelce's a whole nother issue. Cause I'll just be honest with you guys. Kelsey's been a net negative for this Kansas City Chiefs team over the last 6 months. He has not helped. He has been more of a negative than a positive for the Kansas City Chiefs over the last 6 months. Going back to the Super Bowl, wasn't good in that game. Disappeared in the AFC Championship game. He took out our best wide receiver in week 1 of the season. He was bad in this game. He was screaming at Andy Reid, which I actually appreciated because I thought Reid was bad in this one too. But then it's like immediately after, Kelsey goes out there, drops that ball that leads to a turnover. And really that's the play that lost the game if you wanted to point to one. And it's like, well, someone needs to hold Kelsey accountable now because you're over here screaming on the sidelines like you can do no wrong. Hold yourself accountable. Who on this Chiefs team is holding Travis Kelce accountable after that? Because you know what? I'm getting a little bit tired of him going on new heights every week and apologizing about how things are going to get better. And how many times has this guy said sorry over the last 6 months and then it's going to get corrected? I'm sick of it. Travis Kelce's hurting this team right now. He's better than this. He's a Hall of Famer. He needs to get his head out of his ass. And that's just me being completely honest. That's me giving objective analysis. I love Travis Kelce, but this player is not helping your football team right now, the Kansas City Chiefs. And then another conversation that's going to probably not get talked about enough, but I'm definitely going to talk about it here on my channel. Harrison Butker is a problem for this team right now. He missed the kick in week 1, which then changed the Chiefs' offensive approach at the end of that game and was one of the biggest reasons they lost. Butker not making that kick. What was it, the first half or second half? It was a field goal, though, and then the Chiefs started chasing points. They went for 2, didn't get the 2-point conversion, and just put them in the hole. That was caused by Harrison Butker missing the kick in week 1. Then again today, you look at the score. The Chiefs lost the Eagles by 3 points. Harrison Butker missed a field goal in this game, one that he typically makes, and it was far right. Got to be better, man. You just have to. Like, the guys that we depend on for this team to win are not coming through right now. And that's just me being honest. And then Andy Reid, I mean, what's going on, dude? Just poor decisions in this one. The short yardage offense, again, just despicable play calls that I noticed throughout the game. And then I didn't think he gave the refs enough trouble for the false starts on the tush push. He just couldn't be bothered on the sidelines, I guess. I don't know how it took forever for someone on the Chiefs sideline to point that out. And then he punted back to the Eagles with 7 minutes left in the game, knowing that, your offense is struggling to score and that if the Eagles put together a drive, that the game was over. It's just, I wouldn't have punted there. And then he goes for it on 4th and 1 from his own end zone earlier on. And that basically gifted the Eagles 3 points in this game. Again, the Eagles won by 3 points. That was a huge swing. If you're going to go for it, I say either give it to Kareem Hunt and a basic inside run, short yardage play call, not the cutesy stuff, or put the ball in your best player's hands. Patrick Mahomes, have him go out there and run a read option. I guarantee you he'll get the first down. And then, of course, I know a lot of people are going to complain about the tush push and the penalties. That's not why you lost this game, although they were egregious. And I think that's going to be a big conversation all throughout the week. And I think that's the kind of stuff that's eventually going to lead to the tush push probably being banned this offseason. It was close to being banned this past offseason, but I have a feeling it's going to get banned after this year, especially after what we watched, because it's incredibly difficult to officiate, like the broadcast was saying. But there were false starts, and it's quite honestly ruining the game. And that's just my opinion. But I want to cut the offense some slack, like I said, because they're without a lot of guys right now. But I sure wish Brett Veach went out and got an explosive running back to take some of the pressure off Mahomes when the pass game clearly wasn't working, and when your only weapons are Hollywood Brown and Tyquan Thornton. And Patrick Mahomes wasn't perfect. You can tell he's still a little bit uncomfortable. I don't know if that's getting used to the new offensive line. Thought he still took too many sacks in this game. That's partly on the offensive line. But then Patrick Mahomes had the missed throw to Tyquan Thornton, and I think the game was probably over anyway. But he missed a wide open Tyquan Thornton by about 20 yards at the end of the game there. And that definitely played a time factor because Tyquan Thornton probably would have scored on that play. He didn't. And then you had to take more time off the clock to still try and score. And Tyquan Thornton continues to be a positive for me, but it's not ideal that he has to be playing this much. I don't know, man. I just feel like right now, this Kansas City Chiefs team, there's no energy in the building. They feel like a corpse of what the Kansas City Chiefs once were. I just feel like the talent level around Patrick Mahomes is just declining. And that's how I feel. Like this team around Patrick Mahomes is just decaying. The pass rush sucks. The running game is terrible. There's no threat of a running game, and that, inherently hurts the passing game. You're starting 0-2, and the worst part about it is that the schedule doesn't get any easier. I know you have the Giants coming up next, I think, and the Jags are pretty soon, but you also have the Lions and the Ravens coming up. Those are going to be tough. Man, the Chiefs are starting in the hole, and the real issue now, too, with the Kansas City Chiefs starting 0-2 is that I don't – like, they'll still make the playoffs and all that, but yeah, like Matt Verderam said on Twitter earlier before I hopped on to record, this team just feels like a husk of what they once were. But the point I was going to make about them starting off in the hole is that you basically have no more margin for error if you were trying to get the 1 seed this year. And we know how important the 1 seed is because there's only one bye week now for the conferences, and playing the home or having home field advantage throughout the postseason. Like, that's obviously important. And it feels like the Chiefs' margin for error for the 1 seed is already gone, and they're already in a hole in the AFC West. I know the Broncos lost to the Colts, but this AFC West division is too competitive, and the Chiefs need to get their stuff together quick if they want to secure that 10th straight division title. But yeah, man, those are my thoughts on the Kansas City Chiefs 20-17 loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. Just kind of a somber feeling after that one, just demoralizing, because you feel like it's just not there right now. Something is missing from this Chiefs team, and I don't know how it's going to get fixed, but definitely let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm not pushing the panic button yet, but I'm real close. I'm close, and I obviously have a lot of criticisms, of this team. I'm sure a lot of you guys feel the same way, but definitely let me know down in the comments below what your guys' thoughts are on this one. That's all from me in this one, so I'll say go ahead, like, share, and subscribe so more Chiefs fans can find this. Make sure you check out my work on showmefootball.com for more. And last but not least, follow me on Twitter at ShowMeFB. That's all I have for you. I'll see you all in the next one. And as always, go Chiefs.